And so the Orlando shootings have made gun laws one of the hottest topics in America again. And Connecticut Senator Chris Murphy just led a 15-hour filibuster demanding change. Fellow Democrats like, Elizabeth Warren and Cory Booker joined in. Do you think it will change the mind of Republicans, or Republicans being obstinate in the face of so much that people are going to say it's enough, maybe you're not going to get reelected?
I used to think that change was possible, but since nothing changed after 20 first graders, children, were killed in Newtown, I'm just not certain that it's going to change. But I think what's important is that now you have the constituency, the people that the Congress people are supposed to be representing, saying, I want to see change. And maybe now they'll get the cojones to fight. Can I say that on television?
Why not? You just said it.
Maybe now they'll get the strength and the bravery to fight the NRA. And
well, the NRA gives them so much money. They basically are on the take, these guys from the NRA. So they're not going to go against the NRA, even though their constituency wants gun control.
But Joy, if you look at it, it's like 87% of Republicans favor background checks. 87% of Republicans. I can't imagine.
Are they in the House of Representatives, though, these people? No.
Well, 92% of Americans all around the country.
Whoopi brought up yesterday the Second Amendment, and you said something in it that I had to Google about, and I didn't want to bring it up on air until I got all the facts, and I would like somebody to answer this for me. You said, as well as it does in the Second Amendment, that a well-regulated militia being necessary to security of free state, the right of the people to bear arms shall not be infringed. I'm sorry, do we have a militia in this country? Is there a militia here, or, because it still doesn't say individual.
See, and she's reading the Second Amendment, and I think it's such a good point, and I know all the gun people are going to come after me on Twitter after I say this, but if you are a true constitutional scholar and you know the law, the Second Amendment was not did not give people individual rights for guns. It was for a militia.
Until 1970, when the NRA published for a new interpretation.
Yes.
It's not even in writing, it's an interpretation so they can get their money.
And the Supreme Court then in 2008 said, okay, under Scalia, he wrote an opinion that said, yes, you can have your individual handgun. Nowhere in the Second Amendment does it talk about assault weapons.
Well, it doesn't talk about, listen, I say this all the time, and don't bother to come after me either, because I don't care. No, because, people screaming, they wish you death, they wish all kinds of stuff. Listen, we're paid to do what we're doing. I'm not paid to pay attention to what you have to say, particularly when you're wrong. There is no hunter that I have ever known that needed an assault weapon to get a deer. That's not what they're for.
And you know what? To back that up, the family of the man who invented the AR-15 said that they are avid sportsmen, hunter, and skeet shooters, but never used an AR-15 for sport, or did they need to keep it for personal use? And he didn't make it for that. He made it to combat the AK-47.
Yeah.
He never intended
This is from there was a thing in the Philadelphia Daily News. The columnist named Helen Ubiñas. She wrote an op-ed today saying that as an experiment, she went to a gun shop in Philadelphia. She bought an AR-15 in 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay? From handing over her driver's license to passing a background check, she did pass. They didn't ask her, do you know how to use it? What are you going to use it for? Nothing. She just, in 7 minutes, she was able to get this gun.
It's remarkable. And when you look at these mass shootings, the weapon of choice for these mass murderers is the AR-15. That's what was used at the Pulse. That's what was used in Sandy Hook. That's what was used in San Bernardino, the movie theater. I mean, come on, people. We need a ban on assault weapons, on the AR-15.
Well, you saw my... The big thing here, I find it interesting that specifically Republicans right now are keeping an originalist view of the Constitution, because typically they are originalist in how the document was written. And in this instance, they're not.
They're only doing how it's interpreted.
Which is inconsistent with how they normally stand, and that's the most blaring thing to me.
But here's the freaky thing. Senate Republicans proposed an alternative bill that would prevent a gun purchase from going through if the government can prove probable cause that the purchaser is plotting for terrorism. That legislation also failed last year with the support of 53 senators, because any such proposal needs 60.
People should find out who these people are and then don't vote for them.
You know,
that's the power that you have.
The big thing is the speaking up. It's what you said, Sonia, is now that although you don't have a lot of faith personally, I think most of us coming on the heels of Sandy Hook, you thought that was going to be the event that changed people's minds. The more it happens, people are screaming now, and the more they scream, the more the people that represent them have to vote in their interest.
Well, also, I think they were also embarrassed because, you know, at one point, after the parents spoke to the people in charge, one of the senators would say, well, they're just trying to get attention.
Wow.
Now, you know,
Grieving
the mere
parents.
fact that you have no ability to recognize when parents are saying to you, this is an issue, and you think it's all about publicity, and the guy that you are, you know, you're talking about, you're saying, well, these people come over and these people do that. This is all from here. This is all from here, and we have the power. We have the power to make this change. We just got to.
The New York Times today is very interesting because they are saying that the NRA is complicit in terrorism. That's a very strong charge. And I just want to read you a quote from an Al Qaeda opera spokesperson in 2011. It says, quote, "America is absolutely awash with easily obtainable firearms. So what are you waiting for? This is a signal to these lone wolves in this country to go and buy these automatic rifles and start shooting people at random. So that means that we can't go to a mall, we can't go to a concert because we are being held hostage by the NRA.
It's not terrorism. It's not terrorism in other countries. It's still here. You have countries that are nicknamed Chirac. You have places in the cities that kids are getting guns. I know where it is. It's everywhere. It's not just terrorists.
No, it's not just terrorists.
No,
and again, let's make sure we recognize what this was the other night. This was a guy who specifically targeted the gay community.
And Latinos as well.
And, well, I don't think
I
don't think he had any mind. He just went after gay folks.
Yeah.
And we have to really, you know, the Latino communities around this country have to stand up and say, no, we don't want this anymore. We all have to say, this could have been anybody.
Yeah.
But this is why I'm more angry at the shooter's wife. Because you can lie to a gun store and say, I'm getting it because I'm going to go hunting. His wife knew that wasn't what he was going to do.
I have something to say about that if we come back. I have something to say about that.
Let's hold on to this. We'll be right back with more Hot Topics. Hold on.